do this.
Teddy, what you doing, my friend? Like you're sitting there getting yourself a little bit of a shake or a drink or something.
No, this is orange juice, a little vitamin C.
Oh, I love orange juice.
God, do I love it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I grew up on that. It was funny because in my house when I grew up, we had, milk and juice in the house all the time. I was not a milk drinker, but I would drink some juice, and to the point where it got so bad that I drank so much, my tongue would blister from the citrus because I drank so much of it. Oh yeah,
well, I got another one in there I drink too, and that's the pure cranberry.
Oh, then the cranberry is good too, and that's something I didn't think I would enjoy, but I do. There's a lot of cranberry cross drinks too. They do like cranberry and strawberry and stuff like that.
Cran apple, pineapple. I've seen all that. I just like the straight cranberry.
Look here, let me ask you. You told me one time about trying to remember, was it Patti LaBelle's banana pudding or something you used to get?
Yeah. They sell it in Walmart. It's like I said, I didn't know Denise at the time. I mean, I knew her, but I'm saying we weren't talking and stuff, you know what I mean? So I had no idea about her. So let me straighten this out so I don't get in trouble. But but Patti LaBelle, I started getting it at Walmart, and I'm telling you, man, it was unbelievable. Brother, was that some good stuff. But then after when we got with Denise, and she give me that home cooking banana, and she had pineapples in it and all, stuff. Oh my God.
Oh man. Yeah. I found this stuff at a grocery store, and it came in this clear cup, kind of like like a coffee cup almost, a little bit higher rim. And it was homemade banana pudding mousse. Now, it was some kind of a whipped kind of topping on top with a little bit of the.
I've seen that mousse stuff you're talking about. Yeah,
golly, that's good, Teddy.
Yeah, but it's pretty rich.
Oh yeah, it is, and it's bananas, and bananas will put weight on you in a heartbeat too. Because it's something else I love. I love bananas, and bananas. As soon as I start eating them, I can't quit, and then I get 10 pounds on me in no time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about something that's been happening in wrestling. And by the way,
everybody, let's do this, folks. We let's welcome everybody, and let's say hello to everybody, Mr. Rude.
Oh no, that's what I was just about to do.
No. He opens up the show, ladies and gentlemen. He goes right into talking about eating you, so you know he loves to eat. He doesn't introduce us, doesn't say one word, just dive right into eating.
Well, if he'll shut up long enough, I would tell you that you can join the conversation too by simply leaving us a comment in the comment section, and we'll throw you up on the screen. Go ahead, Teddy.
And the other thing I wanted to do too, I wanted to apologize to all of our listeners and fans. Last week we weren't able to be live with them because you were sick, not doing very well. So I got a lot of comments, people talking about, God, we miss you guys, and so we miss you guys too. So we're glad to be back.
Yeah, last week was a strange week. In fact, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I do want to open that up before we get into the straight wrestling. Last week, the reason I was not here was I had to film with the TV crew the day before we were supposed to go live. Now, they called me up and they said, look, we got a carnival, a fair that's come to town. It's the fall fair, and everybody's going to be there. Can you go out there with the camera crew and make something, make a show out of this, 30-minute program? And I'm thinking, I'll try. I'll see what I can do. It's last minute. I got no time to prep. And then I find out, just before I hang up the phone call with the TV station, they're saying, now just one hang up here, your cameraman does not like, fair rides, just so you know. So it's probably going to be you. Now, Teddy, in wrestling, you don't tell people stuff like that, because the second I know that you don't like to ride a ride, I figured out the angle of this entire 30-minute program, and it's going to be getting you at the very end on one of the worst rides in the carnival, which is what I did. It was a blast. But karma came back to get me, because after we got off that particular ride, my balance was so off that I could sit, just kind of move slightly, and I felt like the entire room was moving. So that's the reason we weren't here last week, because it was karma for me getting a camera guy on a ride he didn't want to ride, and I ended up with a long-term effect. So
well, very good.
Yeah, it's not fair. One more thing too about that. Teddy, of all things, I interviewed people who did the games and things like that, and you know how those games work at the fair. They're always tilted in the
They're all rigged. What you
yes,
talking about?
yes.
It's a work. They're all rigged. Jesus, if people don't know that by now, but I think a lot of people do know, but they just still go and have fun. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money to do some of that stuff. So especially with the kids, you don't want to spoil them. But
No.
yeah, all that stuff is a work.
Did you ever go to carnivals when you were young, Teddy? Did you ever go to a fair where they had sideshows?
Uh, I went to a few, not a whole lot. When I was young, I was a thug, so I didn't. I thought I was too much for that kind of stuff.
Well, see, I went to I actually worked at a fair for a couple of years. Every time it would come to town, I would just hook up with the fair, and I'd get a job, picking up the rings on the ring toss or something like that, and they'd pay you so much money per stack of rings you would get. But back then they still had the sideshows, like the bearded lady and the two-headed,
Yeah.
monkeys or whatever they would have on display. And the first one I ever saw in a sideshow, and you don't see these shows much anymore, was a woman, beautiful woman in a bikini who turned into this ugly, scary gorilla in a cage that busts out of the cage and chases everybody out of the tent at the end of it. And I believed every bit of what I saw back then. I can see why maybe nowadays people are too smart and they know what the sideshows actually are, but I miss those days. I do miss seeing some of that crazy stuff because it was always fun to me.
Yeah.
I was not a big ride. I didn't like riding rides that much either. I just like
Yeah,
being in the
that was my
atmosphere.
thing too. I didn't ride rides. I kind of walked and looked at the scenery and stuff like that. One or two things I think I might have got on one time. I'm not sure, but believe me, they were a ride that a 2-year-old would get on and not have no problem.
The last time I got on a carousel, this is no lie, and this should have been a sign for me not to do the ride at the fair. I got on a carousel with one of my grandbabies, and I thought, this is nothing. I'm just standing there holding them while they're riding the horse. I got off
No.
that thing, man. Oh man, yeah. They just the older body and the younger body, two different things.
Exactly.
Plot Twist Jones popping in, also a pretty classy lady saying hello, and Plot Twist Jones saying the same thing. Good to see you both in here,
Hey,
Zach
thank you guys, and we really missed talking to y'all last week.
and Zach Minger. Look here, National Boston Cream Pie Day, Mac and Teddy. Ooh, Boston
Well,
cream. That's something I bet she can make too. I bet Denise can make a mean Boston cream,
listen,
or
don't
her
put
daughter, one or the other.
don't they, listen. They good country people, brother, and they can cook. Okay, I'm telling you now.
Yep, that's what I can tell just by everything you tell me. Because every time Teddy goes out of town, he'll come back and he'll tell me about some other item he got while he was at Denise's. Oh, it was the banana pudding, it's the red velvet cake, it's the barbecue ribs. What's the latest thing? Last time you went, was it still the ribs?
No, this time I had steak that was falling off the. I mean, brother,
Ooh-wee.
steak is always tough.
Yep.
I'm telling you, brother, I had a piece. You didn't have to do nothing but just start chewing it. It was just, it's unreal. I never had a piece of that steak. It was tender as those ribs.
Wow. Yeah. And by the way, Zach, you're talking about the National Boston Cream Pie Day month. I remember when I went to St. Louis with Teddy, he went to Krispy Kreme and ordered a dozen Boston cream donuts and ate every single one of those donuts in one sitting. Wouldn't
I don't
share
know
with
why.
anybody.
I don't know why he keep telling y'all that.
Yeah,
I really
because
don't know why.
he does that, and I don't know why he does that. He
Because
just simply
anybody,
can't put them down.
anybody that knows me, they know that I didn't eat no 12 donuts. And if I had ate 12 donuts, I would have been in the gym like maybe an hour right after that, running that stuff off.
I
Okay.
called I called his room the next morning trying to get him to go up and go down to the gym. I couldn't even get him to answer the phone because he was still sleeping off the Boston cream donut haze he had.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
plot twist Jones saying sounds like brothers arguing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why Teddy and I love getting together and doing the show because we talk shit like this all the time. It's
Well, we
just who
need,
we are.
we was, and Mac and I was really thinking about just putting a camera in the car, and just planting it and forget about it's there, and just
Let you hear the real conversations. I don't know. I'd have to edit that a lot, I'm afraid, Teddy. So, because we talk about things we can't talk about
Okay,
publicly.
well.
Let's see. Pretty classy lady. Teddy, do you remember refereeing the Good Housekeeping match between Chyna and Jeff Jarrett at No Mercy in 1999?
Yes, I do. I exactly remember that. I think that's when Jeff refused to put the title on her or something. And then I think they worked something out in the back. I think it was they had to pay him extra money or
Yes,
something for
yes.
him to do that. So I was a referee there. I remember that real.
Yeah, I think he was on his way out of the company at
Yeah.
that time, and that he wanted to make sure he got his money up front, so he asked for some money more than he should have gotten, or something like that. And
Well,
Vince begrudgingly gave it to him.
yeah, they held them up. You got a
Yeah,
live TV pay-per-view here going. You know what I mean? So you got to do something.
any surprises in that match with you with Chyna and Jeff Jarrett? Let me ask you, what was the feeling backstage? Because at this point, you got to remember, a woman beating a man in a wrestling ring that was pretty big for that to take place. So what was the feeling backstage? Did anybody have issues with it?
No, I don't think any. I
No.
mean, if you had issues with it, what you gonna do about it?
Well, yeah.
Absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, though. With Vince, it was you understood working in the wrestling business. Vince McMahon made it very clear that this is a business. This is not a game that we play. Okay, this
Yep.
is a game in sense, is what we do, but it's business. So you already know when you go out there whether you're gonna win or lose. So it ain't about that. It's about, hey, let's go out here, man, and let's tear this ring down. Let's tear the house down tonight. Let's give these people 200%, more than 100%. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
feeling that you should have every time you walk out of that curtain.
And just to be clear, I don't think Jeff Jarrett had any issue putting Chyna over. That was nothing to do with the money or anything else. That was a kind of a different situation that was taking place at the same time. I don't think putting Chyna over was a problem at all. In fact, I thought he did a great job in the match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand some of it today, because back in the day, old school, you knew what your job was. So,
Yep.
and when you knew it, all you did is got together with your opponent and say, hey man, what we gonna do tonight? Let's kill them out there tonight. That's the attitude you need to have. And that's what the attitude era was. That's why it was so good, because everybody worked together and everybody tried to outwork each other.
Yes. Yeah, and see, that's what I do think is missing, Teddy. I think that in today's environment, that people are afraid to compete with the other people on the show. And back, like you say, in the Attitude Era, man, it was every man for himself, and they were allowed to put a lot of their own input into these storylines. And so they had everything to lose and everything to gain at the same time. And many of them gained during that time because of the fact they were able to do these things during the Attitude Era that they no longer do.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we don't still do some of the things that we used to do back then.
Because I think we're I think we're spoiled now. You know what I mean? We're doing so good and making so much money to some of that stuff. Now maybe we don't even need that.
Well, see, that to me is like buying a luxury car. If you go out and let's say you buy you a Jaguar or something, I don't know what the nicest cars are anymore, but if let's just say a Jaguar, you go out and you buy yourself a Jaguar and it's got all the leather interior, wood grain panel, all this stuff, the highest tech in the console. And then all of a sudden they decide, you know what? Our name's good enough. We're making enough money. Take out the leather seats and make them plastic. That is the same thing that I see happening with wrestling. You're taking away some of those things that need to remain to give it that polish.
But they look at it like, well, we already got them.
Yeah, we already got the money, so why waste that? We can make more money by cutting corners now. That is the thing that just drives me nuts. Michael Steele. Oh, wait a minute. Second question for pretty classy lady. How did you keep occupied on long flights and car rides back in the day? I can barely stand a few hours myself.
Well, we had a lot of guys in the car. You know what I mean? At least 3 guys, that we traveled with. So we were very good at entertaining ourselves.
Yeah, it's surprising because even like when Teddy and I, when we make road trips together, we start talking about so many things, whether it's wrestling related or not wrestling related. By the time we get to where we're going, hey, time's kind of passed a lot quicker than we thought because you got somebody you can constantly talk to, and that's a good thing. If I'm riding by myself though, 2-3 hours tops is about as long as I want to be in a car by myself.
Well, you're right about that.
Yeah, because otherwise it gets too difficult. Let's see. Michael Steele. Hey, brother, good to see you in here. Saying Boston cream is the best.
Michael Steele, my man. I love Michael, man. What a great guy. I'm going to be at WrestleCade next month, Michael, so hope I get a chance to see you there, man. But good always talking to you, man. Love you, brother.
All right, guys, we got to step away real fast because it's time to open up that mailbag and see what people are asking Teddy.
Here's that horrible.
letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
And that is Teddy's favorite part of the program right there. That's, he wrote that song himself.
I mean, it's horrible.
By the way, if you want to be a part of the show, it's real simple. Just leave us a question in the chat room there. We'll throw it up on the screen. Even if it's not a question, it's just a comment, whatever it may be, throw it up there. We'll talk about it. It doesn't cost you anything, by the way. There's no super chats, no charges for anything. It's absolutely free. Also, real quick, a little update. Teddy and I will no longer be with Sportskeeda after next week. They're closing down a portion of their business. I don't know exactly why, what the reason is, but they're shutting down the entire channel. So there's a chance that you're probably going to see Bill Apter join us every once in a while on this show, so he can answer some questions as well. And we'll be doing that in the future. But if you want to keep up to date with everything that's taking place with Teddy and I, Teddy, myself, and Bill, whatever shows we may be on, just make sure you log on to YouTube's Road Trip After Hours. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and you'll know all the latest news as it breaks.
And the good part about it, if you want to ask Bill Apter some questions, then, by the time that he joins us here on Road Trip After Hours, he'll probably done did his stint in rehab. He is in rehab right now. He has an addiction to tick crack. So by the time he get out of rehab and get on us, you can ask Bill about, what was his time like in rehab, and how was it, trying to kick the habit of those of crack. So yeah, you can talk to Bill.
And Teddy understands that. I mean, he can understand with that need, because his Boston cream donut habit that he has is just as bad. Let's see. Freddie in South Carolina writes, was there ever someone in wrestling that others couldn't stand, but for some reason you got along with just fine?
Well,
that's a good question, by the way, Freddie. That's a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. Well, like I said, I basically got along with everybody, you know what I mean? But there were some guys, that were kind of out there, but you learn how to play the game and you can get along with them too. So
let me ask you, because JBL had
I was going to say that you just took that out right from. I was going to say JBL was one of the guys, that a lot of guys didn't like, because he just, like I said, he pulled pranks on them, but they pretty much be a shoot. So yeah. He wouldn't. Here's one on him. He wouldn't let Matt Stryker dress in the locker room at one time. He'd make Matt Stryker take all of his clothes and dress in the janitor's closet. That's where he had to change at. He wouldn't let him in.
What, was he just ribbing him, or was he?
No, he was just something about Matt he didn't like, and so he just made him dress in the closet.
Wow. yeah, that was the first name when I first read that out loud to myself. I was like, JBL's got to be the guy that I would think of, because you get along so well with JBL that hearing, especially because I've seen JBL and you together. And
see, here's the thing: you can't sell for him. That's the worst thing you can do. If you sell for him, he got you.
Oh yeah,
I never sold for him.
You see, and it goes back to what I was talking about the fair at the beginning of the show. Once I knew there was an issue, and the cameraman sold for him, he was done. He was done. That he was going to ride that ride no matter what. Pretty classy lady popping in saying that also Mac, the thumbnail is hilarious. Which is one of Teddy and I looking scared, I think, with the spiders all around us, is the one that she's talking about. And also Plot Twist Jones. Hey, brother, isn't it ironic that the same people that were saying they were afraid to tell Vince that he already did the thing last week now need AI to tell them? Laughing out loud. Look, Teddy, and on a serious note, when it comes to AI, I'm not a big fan. I understand it can maybe be useful in cases, but even in the voiceover industry, which I do a lot of voiceover work, and there are now constantly AI out there that can speak, like an announcer. Here's the difference, though, and I can point every one of them out every time they show up on a commercial, on TV, radio, wherever. I can tell immediately because there is no emotion. Emotion in wrestling is always going to be there. So I don't know that AI could ever destroy wrestling. Do you?
I don't know, man. My feeling on AI, whatever that is, that is pretty dangerous. When somebody can put your head on something and use your voice and say the words or whatever they want to say, you know what I mean? And now they got people thinking it's you, and you know what I mean? That's pretty dangerous.
Let's say Teddy, 40-ounce C-dub saying, somebody call Carl Malone and get 2 Chainz to do a remix to that Letters song. So,
Okay.
there's always a comedian in here. If Bill has any tick crack he doesn't need, I can chase this with 1 or 2 of my drinks. Oh, okay, I got you. If you need something to swallow those tick cracks back, you can use one of your drinks. I got you.
Well, when Bill comes on the show, you can call back and you can ask him that. I'm pretty sure he has some extra ones.
I'm sure I don't think he ever runs out, Teddy. I swear to you. I don't care
know
what
it.
time of day I talk to him. He's got tick crack in his mouth every time. Irvin, Mike LaRue, they just put them 1-on-1 with The Undertaker.
You could believe that, player.
Scott Gillespie, anyone ever passed gas in the ring and made Teddy break character? That's a good question. I mean, is any of the guys ever just farted right in your face?
They did Prince Albert. You remember him?
God, yes.
He didn't just fart. He did the real deal.
Oh no!
And he looked right at me and he said, "I done pooped on myself."
God, what you hear about a lot of people who do that from time because they may be holding one and they're going to their match and they get slammed so hard that it just happens.
That's what happened to him when he went down and I went down the count and he I done pooped on myself.
Well, what did he do? Did he just did he end the match at that point? Was he near the end?
You keep on going. I mean, you can't just stop.
Now, what happens if you're starting to drag it all over the ring?
Well, we'll have to wait till that day comes.
All of a sudden, you get in a position where he may have wiped a little bit, and you got to slap the 3 count, and it's right underneath.
Like I said, he was pretty. Cause a lot of times the tights are pretty tight. You know what I mean? So
Imagine if somebody had diarrhea. Right? I'm not trying to say that and be sounding bad on the show, but I mean, really, if that happens, and that you can't help that. It just boom, it happens. It's there. Jeez, if you got white shorts on, brother, you in trouble.
It is what it is.
I'm thinking that it could ruin a career very easily. Can you imagine one of the biggest heels in the company? Well, it may work for a heel, but one of the biggest baby faces of the company all of a sudden just does his business all over himself in the wrestling ring live on TV. Well, can you imagine if The Rock had done that? I don't think you'd get over that.
But see, Rock know how to get out of it.
Yeah, he would. Chris Jericho would for sure because he always know how to do that.
These guys they know how to work around that and make you like that, whether you like it or not.
Yep. All right, let's see. Joe, hey Joe, great to see you in here, brother. Nick Patrick, a new match, super pooper match. I bet you Joe has seen some people do that as well. Which
of course he has. Yes.
Let's see. Cynthia in Oregon writes, I'm a seasoned woman. She's been listening to you, Teddy. And I recently decided to watch WWE again after nearly 20 years because of our show. It was boring, not near as good as it once was. Please note, my 11-year-old grandson watched it with me. He asked if we could watch something else. Wow. Wow. That's an 11-year-old kid. So now I don't know who their target demo is anymore. I really don't. But that says a lot about where the creative is. If you can't maintain an 11-year-old boy's attention to wrestling, there's got to be a problem.
It's like I told you, man. I think it's too much, and they got a lot on their hands, man. You're trying to be creative for all these guys, man. That's a lot of work.
Yep. All right, let's see. Eric Heelbiz, Teddy, during the skyscraper days, did you take one look at Sid and tell instantly that he was going to be a big deal?
No, I didn't. I did. You know, when I first got together with them, with Sid and Danny. You know, I always kind of was with Danny. You know, most of the time. You know, we was all together, but I didn't. Sid and I never did really have no big conversations or nothing. So I really didn't know. I was just happy to be with him to manage him.
He also says, I just wanted to say that we love and appreciate you both very much. Thanks again for everything you do in the biz. Eric,
Well,
we
thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much, man. Thank you very much for you thinking about us. Thank you.
Yeah, and I found it funny. I saw somebody today say that the shows must not have been doing well in sports keto for him to close the channel. Let me tell you, that's not the case. The reach with sports keto was incredible, and not just on their YouTube page. It's just a business decision that they made to let things go and to streamline their business, and they have every right to do whatever they think is necessary for their business. So we no hard feelings towards sports keto whatsoever, but just stay tuned with us right here at Road Trip After Hours, and you'll be seeing some faces pop in and out of here that I think you'll enjoy. Let's see what else. We got so many people getting in here. Plot Twist Jones is saying, Mac, have you heard AI music? Pretty crazy. Teddy, I have heard some AI music to the point where I did not realize it wasn't an artist on the top 40 chart. That is frightening.
I heard one that they did with Smokey Robinson, and it was A&I. Yeah, I swear to God, if they hadn't have told me, I wouldn't have never thought no more.
No. 40-ounce C-dub, damn, mush pie all the way back like a baby. The locker room shower afterwards. Ha! Mush. Did you get that, Teddy?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I think Chris has had one too many drinks tonight already. Let's see.
One too many blunts or something. I don't know what it is.
I see. Big Show talking about pooping. Did it once. I want to say after a Brock suplex. I do believe I've heard Big Show mention that he had the same issue. And Nick Patrick saying, unfortunately, done it myself. So he is Nick Patrick has pooped himself before when he wrestled Dr. Death's running slam.
Well, that says it all right there.
Yeah, man. That's a brick house right there.
That's like you swallowed a laxative.
Yeah, man. Ron Simmons saying, damn, when someone poops their shorts in the ring. Laughing now, that's Scott Gillespie with that one. Also, we have let's see, Nicole. I think it says Arizona. I can't really read what that says. I think it says Arizona. What wrestling impressions can you do? Do you have any wrestling? I know one I've heard you do that I thought you were pretty good at.
I do a little bit of the Sheik.
Yep.
God rest his soul. I do a little bit of him. Sometimes I can do a little bit of Dusty, if you will.
You're the ones that you do that I am so used to is the Dusty, but the Sheik. Whenever you start talking like the show, we're going to talk about. We were talking about stories earlier when Teddy and I drive, and Teddy will go into that tone of the Sheik while he's telling me some stories, and I can just imagine the Sheik saying those things to me himself. He's that's one of your favorite ones for me, at least.
Oh, we was on the airplane. I'll give you one. We was on the airplane one time, and so we were sitting down. So the lady come by, and she kept trying to get him to let his seat up, and all he got, you're a fucking douchebag. You're gonna tell me, douchebag. You don't tell me.
Now, were you next to him at the time?
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing? Are you just hiding your head, going, "That's just"?
I just, you don't do nothing. You just sit there and just look out in space and let him rant.
Even Bruce Sarge, who's popping in saying hello, Teddy. I think he popped a couple times. Sarge said hello.
Hey, what's going on, Dwayne?
The first time I met him was at the power plant. I was working for a radio station here, and we gave away an opportunity to go to the power plant to train during one of their training sessions. Yeah. They have like certain times of the year they would do that. And so we had a winter go there. They didn't last even a day because of the intense, I don't think they had any.
Sarge, listen, if you ain't ready, do not get in the ring with Sarge, because he is dead serious. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, if you want to learn and get it right, then you hang in there with him. And once he's done with you, if you ain't got it, then you never will get it.
Let's see. We have Chris also saying, I almost had one. He's talking about a problem or an accident. Training Nick had to tell Papa Marco too much protein and took myself to the Taco Bell down the road.
Good.
And let's see. I think that's it for right there. We got enough time for, I guess, a name association. You want to try to do this while we got a little bit of time here, Teddy?
That's up to you.
All right, we'll see how far we can go. And we keep taking your questions too. If you want to get any more questions in, do so. We'll throw them up on the screen. Name association. This is from Piper's Pot. The first one is Funaki.
Oh yeah, Funaki. He was funny. You know what I mean? He told everybody one time he couldn't drive, and they caught him driving one time. Oh God, did they rip him?
I bet he drove every time after that. I bet he's still
Oh yeah, he
driving
had people.
himself.
He had people shoving him around, because he's here. Guys want to make sure he get to the towns and stuff. So he's just hopping, car hopping. And we saw him one day. I guess he got learned how to get a rental car, and he was driving. Oh God, they blistered him. I think they took the car from him or something like that.
Oh man. Now here's one I'm curious about because he's been in the news quite a bit in the last year, it seems. Justin Credible.
I met Justin over the years. I think the last time I saw him was on an independent when I was out there in Texas, and he came out and they used him out there, and saw him out there. Nice guy, man. We always talked and had a great conversation, but never hung out or we never, I never went to the clubs or nothing like that with him. But other than that, a real nice guy.
Yeah, I know he's had a lot of problems where he's, from what people say, allegedly taking advantage of fans and trying to get money out of people, and he's had his issues with some demons, and he's still fighting those issues to this day, which is unfortunate to be that far along and still letting those demons control you like that.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
All right, let's see. The next one is another ECW guy, and that's Sandman.
Oh yeah, Sandman. Me and him rode around a couple of times. I rode with him. Had a smoke or two with him too, so he was always a nice guy, man. Just super nice.
Was he smart to the business, Teddy? Did he come across like he really understood the business, or because some of those guys in ECW, they were a bit of a different breed?
Well, Sandman was smart to the business. Sandman had been there long enough to understand, what it was really like, and I think he was close with Paul, so he was able to learn a lot right there too. He was right up on the one of Paul's guys.
Yeah.
So, but he was a lot of people, said stuff about him, but I didn't never see that, man. He always had a great attitude, man. You could go to him, talk to him, hell of a nice guy, I'm telling you.
All right, Teddy, we got to figure out a winner for tonight for the free Road Trip After Hours t-shirt. Teddy picks that every time you get a question in here. He listens and makes up his mind before the end of the show.
I'd like to send that to the lady that she says her son couldn't even watch wrestling. Okay, let's send him that t-shirt.
That was Cynthia in Oregon. So Cynthia, we'll get that out to you. I've got your address. I got your email address. So I'll send you a message out and just shoot me back your information and we'll take care of that. So congratulations to Cynthia in Oregon. We'll be back here again next week, next Thursday night. Anything coming up for you, Teddy, between now and then you want to talk about?
No, not doing anything. I think I'm going to be up around Tennessee next week for my son's homecoming or something. I'm going to go there to represent my son, and I'll be doing that. And I'm going to Buffalo. I think November 19th. I'll be in Buffalo, New York. I'll give you more details on that. But
it's going to be cold up there.
Oh God, don't mention it.
Oh man, yeah. That's it's that time of year where that weather gets bitter up there. Oh,
yeah.
Let's see. Also, I think we've already plugged Road Trip After Hours. Subscribe and hit the notifications button. We'd appreciate it. Hey, by the way, we're almost at 6,000 people. That doesn't sound like much, but that's a lot in a short amount of time. So we certainly appreciate that. Everybody that signed up and subscribed and hit notifications. Share with your friends too, because the only way this channel will continue to grow and continue to be free is if we continue to get more and more subscribers. So you guys, thank you very much. Share it. Let us know what we can do to make the show better, or something you'd like to see added to the show. Even we'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, send us some music that I can listen to, so I can kind of get us some decent music. This music is just horrible, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you.
Lord have mercy. He won't ever quit. All right. That's it for tonight. I'm Mac Davis. That's WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. And this has been Road Trip After Hours.